Obviously, State Green currently up 1-0. So, as expected, the Blind Band's Tundra Flux coming up from State Green. Moon Queen, Keeper of the Forest, coming out from Q Squad here. And now into the lock phase we go. You like all the right clicks over there on the side of Q Squad, having some fun, giving some options here. Look at old Gemini Gladiator, Devourer Chronos lineup. Pearl was left open the whole time last game, remember, too. It was interesting noticing that she didn't get banned yet. She unfortunately didn't get picked up either. Kind of hoping to see her, perhaps. But
yeah, State Green opted to run. What was their torture support last game?
Yeah.
A lot more damage coming out still.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're more afraid of the cheese that come out with heroes like Pearl, similar like Jerizaiah, where you try to go all in, and you're like, well,
everyone go away. I'm excited to start seeing that bubble, man. What is it even called? The preservation.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. See that eventually. Well, look at that. In case you forgot what State Green's website is, they're there to remind you. TeamStateGreen.com.
Facebook's been trying to one-up everybody there.
No, they've been doing a great job with that. They've a lot of guides coming out, a lot of videos in general, analyzing games. I mean, we've given them so many, but another big shout out to Team State. I mean, they're showing that you don't need to have this big sponsorship to take care of creating an organization yourself ultimately, especially the esports scene. So
sure,
it's definitely cool to see that.
Rally Ophelia locked up again, and State Green's going to have that first pick. I would not be surprised if they choose to take Ophelia. I've not seen them fail in Ophelia. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta say I can't say they fail Ophelia game yet. But how many games do they really fail that I can really?
Well, they're 35 straight now, so that they've won.
35 straight. Still, Ophelia is usually a pretty damn critical component. Chessie in general, I normally don't like to shout out individual players on teams. I think the entirety of State Green, obviously, they're the best of the best in their roles. Excellent teamwork in general, but I feel like I'm always, like, even just watching as a spectator, I'm always kind of afraid of the role that Chessie's playing and the impact he's going to have on that game. Whether it's his Tempest play and his huge ultimates, whether it's the Ophelia and the well-timed ganks, I feel like he's always just absolutely being a dominant force.
A huge asset to the team. Chessie won the MVP, remember, overwhelmingly at the Hunter Grand Finals. He was voted by the community, by you guys at home. It was something like 30-something% out of all 10 players you had a chance to vote for, and he had like 30-something%. So clearly overwhelming favorite.
Yeah, is this in terms of consistency? I can't really ever point at times where I'm like, oh, he went a little bit too far. Oh, he went a little bit too hard. I feel like he's just always doing the right thing at the right time. So, and, he takes a lot of initiative, too, in releasing those guides to the public on how to jungle better. So, shout out to you, Chessie. Yeah,
big player for the scene, and happy to have him, of course. So, Lodestone, Artillery, Fade, Deadwood are the band so far.
Papa Male is on the right track there. I like what he's thinking.
What do we got? Oh, yeah.
But anyway, back on track. Yeah, Lodestone being banned out again. State Green does not want to deal with that hero. They're making a point that they... No Flux, no Tundra, no Lodestone. Screw that.
No Bubbles ban.
Yeah, okay. No Bubbles being banned out. He wasn't a big impact in the last game, but I think there could have been a couple other heroes that filled that role that could have sort of done a similar thing in that lineup. It was just in there, and it's like Wretched Hag maybe.
There you go, finished off. Master of Arms Engineer, the final band's first pick. Swin Mountain's usually pretty quick to do his first pick, so expect something right away. Bubbles. Torturer. Bubbles Torturer.
Torturers in the pool, they have been favoring that a lot.
Torturer! Hey, shocker!
I would honestly never expect to see the Bubbles over the Torturer. I think they value it so highly. It doesn't give away...
The versatility.
I'd say it gives away nothing. They played as a support. They played as a very dominant carry. And that's what I always like to see with those first picks in general.
Yeah.
Unless you're picking something drastically, like that they feel is drastically overpowered, like back in the previous patch days of the Moon Queen Artillery, which is like if we get one of these heroes, we win the game. Automatically, it does tend to suit your team better to go with picks that can't really disrupt the flow of the rest of your draft.
Yeah. I'm thinking Pandemonium Accursed right here for Q Squad.
I'm kind of feeling like they're not going to go Cursed again.
I'm going to go on a...
I'm actually going to say I'm not feeling like they're going to go Cursed again because they've been... I haven't...
He's running a couple games lately. I don't think they've been...
They've just lost their 2 recent games with him. Yeah. He hasn't had a huge impact.
Pandemonium,
I agreed with that. That was great, but just the... We actually called it out right after the match was done. It's like, okay, it's going into game 2. Their Kraken trick didn't work. The next trick in their book that they've been having success with lately.
Pandemonium.
Directly to that Pandemonium and taking a look at the recent games here.
I see Z-Freak right-clicking Pearl, so I kind of wonder. If maybe he's going to try to convince his brother to pick it up for him. We'll see.
He's
though.
like, oh, yeah. I'm sure if you read the interview with Swindle Mullins. It was posted not too long ago, but Z-Freak was quoted as, "Give me Pearl and it's a free win."
Well,
so
what a free win. Here you go. Let's just make it happen. So that's all it takes.
So he's clearly confident in that hero. They'd have to run Torture as support in a case like that, and the offensive utility of Pearl is a little bit down, so they need to make sure that if they're choosing a defensive hero like Pearl, they can make up for it in other capacities.
We'll see. Of course, I know we also like some Myrmidon. Plays it pretty often, so a lot of options here as always. You know a trend that I have been seeing a lot of. Not many bans or even locks on support heroes in general. It seems like the bans are being used for others, and the locks.
There's a lot of powerful supporting options right now. Engineers are usually one, but the Scout Aluna. I was actually looking at the Aluna. I was saying, hey, I'm looking at this Pebbles. I'm looking at this Rally. Hero to burst alongside of it for support would be great. Engineers banned out, so that's not an option. I was like, Aluna could be good. I do like that, and with Stay Green, it's hard to tell. They have so many tricks up their sleeve now. Choosing the route into the Scout again, that's another physical silence, by the way, for that face smash.
Yeah.
Even through Shrunken Head, that's a way they get right out of it.
Very true, very true. Yeah, really good point. And, you got that Tempest, obviously, in that lock pool, so if they don't respect the Tempest, then you have another way to deal with it.
The highlights are showing that Wild Soul is actually still in the pool. We saw him banned out in a couple of the games yesterday, so definitely still an option. I wouldn't really say that's so much of the style I expect to see coming out of QsQ, though. Wouldn't really fit their line. Pretty sure it's more for fun. Pharaoh, you're right, that would be something maybe, especially when Nova was drafting. They used to pick it up all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen it as much. He played a game to great success with it maybe like 5 or 6 games ago, it looks like here, checking his recent stats. Had a good Pharaoh game. Outside of that, it looks like that Bubbles probably is actually going to wind up being more of a suicide presence unless they choose to do mana plane and go for a solo side Bubbles. So. Pharaoh. You really want to see that Pharaoh.
Jonas Fan plays an awesome Pharaoh, and he definitely is a fun hero to watch.
Helps maybe a little bit in locking down the Scout, I suppose. I'm not sure if I'm feeling it with that.
I just want to be right. Oh, okay. I'll take that too. Chipper. That came out of left field.
It's really hard to forecast a lot of what's going to be coming out right now due to the fact that a lot of this metagame is being established and newly explored. These teams can go in a lot of directions. So I think it's better to sort of look at the picks afterwards and see what the heroes are capable of doing and what they contribute to the lineup more so than taking shots in the dark.
Ooh. There you go. Chipper going to be in the hands of Style, it looks like. You got Pandemonium, of course, being played by Nox. They got Mally on his good old Parasite and then Nova on the Andromeda. Obviously, that means Jonas Fan playing the bubbles here. So final pick coming out for Stay Green, Tempest, Ophelia, or Pebbles. I think it's one of the jungles, most likely. It is going to be Ophelia.
Yeah, I can't say I ever see them prioritize another jungle over Ophelia, always. It's never the case. It's always going to be the Ophelia. I mean, if it does change up, let me know. But
Jesse's really good at it.
I think out of the past 20 times they've been put in that situation, they've taken Ophelia.
Yeah. Chipper, I mean, hell, that's a hero we don't see often. I'm excited for him, that's for sure.
Well, I was going to say, I was looking at the Chipper. I'm excited to see him. He used to be just all over the place. I mean, Chipper was the go-to guy for a while. Grimoire Power is in the game once again, and maybe heroes like Chipper can see a bit of a resurgence. Spell Charge was cool. It does a lot of damage. That's nice, but it doesn't really help you carry any better. Grimoire Power increases your farm exponentially. Lightbrand is very good for a spam hero like Chipper in general. The Rockets, I like what they do a bit for this team. Interrupts for Rally's ultimate constantly if they need it. They didn't go Tempest, so they don't have to worry about interrupting with that. High burst damage for a squishy hero like Scout. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun to see that. KZoo, though, on his Scout role yet again. Obviously, we saw that even earlier today in the semifinal matchup against Yeah. He eventually just took over, as he, even in that suicide role, Scout can most certainly do. Now, we have a possible clash going to be kicking off here. And what is game number 2 now? We got Andromeda, Bubbles, and Pandemonium running right into Aluna here. Aluna for the time being currently by herself somewhat, but no, they cannot get close enough. And as you see, the rest of Stay Green also in the vicinity, but it looks like yet again it's going to be a case of they spot each other, but no one actually going to initiate in the end. So both sides going to be fine for now, but Q Squad still want to make their way over to get the Ward of Sight down at least. Andromeda coming over here with the Ward of Sight, Water Rev as well, rallying the front lines. Obviously he has that Compel, so he's a little more confident. Now, Rocket's going to come out right here, scout it out. Oop, actually hits Rally.
Yeah, level 1 encounters are always just a little bit less exciting when there's a Rally on one of the teams.
Yeah, true. Because you know that if you start wasting cooldown, wasting mana, all of a sudden he gets compelled away, and you're like, well, that didn't work. So in the end, not really any exchanging going on. Andromeda does have a Rev, though. Again, there's a Ward of Sight here that was placed by Z-Freak. Kind of wonder if Nova's going to be perceptive to that or not.
I feel like making a smart movement going to the, well, the enemy jungle, knowing that Parasite's taking over his side. After Parasite establishes some dominance in the bottom lane here, Scout, hopefully they get some early True Sight to get that gank off with that Parasite. If they manage to pull that off, at that point I'd like to see the Parasite maybe roam back and edge Ophelia out of their own jungle. But for now, establish that lane dominance.
It also means Bubbles versus Rally here in the middle lane, and that leaves Chipper going to be the top lane in that short lane against that Torturer Aluna. That's going to be fun to watch up here. Obviously, Style on Chipper, we're wanting to be very careful. He's definitely susceptible. Putting a lot of damage on the Slicks right there, but again, all of a sudden chain reactions and a power throw comes out, and he also is losing a bit of life there. So expect some good action. Oh, look at what Ophelia's doing, by the way. Coming in with the Vagabond leader. That's the flank. Chipper's in a lot of trouble now. Bloodlust kill is going to be coming out in favor of Chessie, actually. Playing the Ophelia. Very good flank from him.
He got really confident to go back up again after they just honestly smashed him. He was doing great harassing. Stayed up a little bit too far, and then took over half his health, went right back up there, didn't learn his lesson.
Yeah.
He had to have figured Ophelia was going to be on their side. Maybe not. I mean, they didn't fully scout the jungle yet, but I don't know.
Yeah, big misread from Style right there, and it does cost him his life, unfortunately. So that is obviously really big for Stay Green.
That's really interesting, too. Look at what Keizu did. He actually put an Electric Eye in his own jungle, knowing that if Parasite's in there, he's going to, you know, slow down his progress a bit.
Oh, wow, yeah. Blocking the camp down here. Speaking of that, Parasite actually finding his way to go to the top lane, so it makes me believe that they weren't aware that Ophelia was going to be in their own jungle. And now that they realize that, obviously the Bloodlust kill coming out, now here comes Parasite and Andromeda. They are going to start roaming around a little bit. Z-Freak nearby, though, going to go ahead and give a little bit of help. Parasite, though, takes over the Catman champion that Ophelia had controlled to farm, so good job by Mally right there. Stealing one of his minions, as a Parasite can definitely do. This will mean, though, it's going to be a Pandemonium versus a Scout 1v1 now, and Scout actually has that short lane advantage even.
So Nox has had a lot of success with this Pandemonium lately. He is in this 1v1 matchup, so when you are in this 1v1 matchup or a lane where you have a significant advantage, I do like seeing Flurry leveled up. When it's the kind of thing like a dual lane versus a dual lane mid, I gotta say I prefer the Flick Cannonball, but this is totally understandable to go this route. When you hit level 7, you want to be able to farm those stacks very fast, and I've actually seen this before where he levels up. I think it was Nox that was playing it a while ago, maybe even before he was on QsQ, but I seem to recall, maybe he was Horsebolt at the time, I seem to recall him just getting that Flick and Flurry and just doing a ton of damage with those two spells alone, not even having Cannonball.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, definitely has potential to, that's for sure. Scout actually going to the top lane, so how about this? Stay Green making some adjustments themselves.
Look, he's actually doing it.
What's that?
The flick flurry.
Oh yeah, the flick flurry. Yeah, it's just not going to put any levels into Cannonball. You're right. But yeah, Torturer coming out of the bottom lane, Scout going to the top lane, and in the meantime, Aluna's going to start just roaming around a little bit. So a matchup change here for Stay Green. Is there a reason why you can see why they're doing so?
Maybe just to lock down this Pandemonium a bit more. They figure Scout can perform just fine top against this Chipper, especially now that Chipper was punished a bit, and synergizing with this Parasite. Also, it just being up here, he can apply more pressure to this Parasite that's in his woods again. Place an Electric Eye to scout out ganks. They can't really have an impact anymore. They can't really gank the Scout easily at all. Chipper doesn't have that much of a disable. Yes, he has a slow, but it's a lot harder to provide enough lockdown to actually pick him off, so it's a safe.
Oh, Nova finding himself in a horrible spot here. He went a little bit too deep. He was trying to really finish off that Torturer, but it cost him his life, as both Aluna and eventually Ophelia, of course, collapse on top of him. So good job initially, trying to get the kill on the Torturer, but yeah, definitely got a little greedy there, did Nova. And it obviously cost him his life. So just over 4 minutes in now, 2-0 hero kill advantage in favor of Stay Green here. To get things kicked off, Ophelia going to pick up the Illusion Rune and continue to farm with that. Pandemonium, though, his farm still, even with his teammate dying right there and the whole change-up, I mean, he's still managing to farm fairly well, 300 gold per minute currently. Obviously going to farm very well, especially at this rate. But as you're talking about, though, he also is going the Flurry Flick route, so expect, once he hits the level 7 mark, ideally try to get this jungle stacked up and start taking advantage of that. be what you're going for here for
yeah.
QsQ, you'd think.
Meanwhile, look, yeah, he does place the Electric Eye on that hard camp too, so any ganks that Parasite wants to set up, he'll have to walk a creep over from the hard camp early, and this is not going to be enough. It's going to lose most of its health by then, so it'll be a lot harder to find that angle, so yeah, just he is doing work up here.
Scout's causing the issues here for this other team. Oh, yeah, going the 1-1-1. Very interesting. Oh, bottom lane in the meantime. Torture is actually going to get jumped on once again. Ophelia's coming over with a flick and flurry. Just too much damage for Torture to handle. Again, Ophelia coming over nearby. She does have a Catman champion, but not going to be nearly enough. Bubbles in the meantime roaming around. He actually runs into a Luna here. Nice sidestep from Z-Freak, though, dodging the Shell Surf damage. That was a level 3 Shell Surf. If that hit, that was more than likely a dead Luna right there.
Well, yeah, and he had level 2 of his sound as well, so
yeah.
A little more damage coming out there. Meanwhile, Style in the top lane, they are able to punish KsQ. I'm looking at Parasite's items here. He does have that dust, and that played a big role into it, so well played. I believe he used that. He didn't use the Wild Hunter, did he? I'm
not sure, although in the meantime, Bubbles gets totally dominated by Rally right there using the Compel Sonics. Wow. The Compel Seismic Slam coming.
Yeah, a big part of that, he didn't have his take cover. Yeah, you can use it to dodge the Rally stun. Rally may have been perceptive of the fact they didn't have it. Otherwise, just took a chance on the stun. He figures, hey, if this hits, I'm going to be able to drop him. Rally just does very well in matchups against heroes like Bubbles, against heroes like Wretched Hag. They're nice, they're mobile, they're really hard to kill normally, but land one side on them with a Rally and they're done for.
Yeah. But yeah, the kill in the top lane, good job. Now Scout nearly got a turnaround kill on a Parasite. It's actually very, very close. Good job by Chipper taking the tower aggro away from him in the meantime. Andromeda again, though, finding himself in a bad spot. He runs right into Ophelia's minions, and Nova will get exploded on. Just happened to be a wrong place at the wrong time type deal.
Top lane breaky, though. Scout is on the run.
Oh,
Parasite
nice.
had the dust again and edged him out.
Yeah. Very nice rocket, too, from Chipper.
Well, yeah, a couple well-placed rockets actually coming there from a distance. And, you know, Parasite uses slow initially before the silence came from Scout, just sort of hugged on him, followed him right up with that face hug. His cooldown was up, and they were able to secure the kill.
Yeah.
So using both of those dusts very effectively on that Scout, and experience edge actually in this game going in favor of, oh, wait, for middle lane, there's the rally again, and the seismic slam to finish.
Oh, what? Oh, the Kelphiel cancels the auto attack. Is that going to be the difference maker? Rally's going to get turned on, and Rally will fall. What a big play by Jonas Fan right there. Not only stays alive somehow, but gets the turnaround kill. Wow.
What?
Cancels
I thought
the auto
for
attack.
sure he was dead. He had to live with 10 health there. It's not even picked up any additional strength. Oh my god.
Now that's a moment to remember for sure in this game if, you know, things definitely progress as far as QsQ even eventually coming through. Because, hey, small thing, but...
Well, no, it's the first part of this game where you can
turnaround.
precisely say, hey, QsQ is looking hot right now.
Yeah.
They were doing it before. The picks off on Scout. I can't say I've seen many times where KsQ actually receives this much opposition on Scout, too. I think he's normally used to having the time of his life. We mentioned before he was going the 1-1-1 build. He does max out his Vanish here. The reason he kept it at 1-1-1 was for the increased mana efficiency during the laning phase. He was just holding those points. If he's holding onto those points like that, it means he is going to spend them on Vanish.
Gotcha, gotcha. We do see right here the double damage rune, actually, that Ophelia is kind of protecting in the meantime. Rally going to go ahead and bottle that up. He has a full bottle, so going to give it off to Ophelia right there. Let him use it efficiently. And then eventually get it back. Pandemonium gets the mana tube here. Interesting. So that means going to be going the Sustainer into a Rune Cleaver, I would think.
Bubbles has to be careful. Scout's here now, so he's going to be able to actually silence the Bubbles, and he won't be able to use any of those mobility skills to get away here.
Or he'll just Shell Surf first.
Sure, but that doesn't. He's not in a bad position just yet. Scout's not going to exactly stun or slow him long enough. I highly doubt they have any idea that Scout's waiting back there, though, so in terms of initiative, Stay Green does have the advantage right now. A little bit of this round
Bottom lane base smash, finishing off Torture right there. Poor coming in from Luna though. Pandemonium in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have that cannonball. He is going to die, so you mentioned that earlier. Meanwhile, Bubbles actually, Kelphiel catching both Scout and Rally. Port's coming in, does his applied Rocket Barrage, not going to connect. Scout is very quick, of course. The tar comes down, but I think Scout is going to be fine in the end. As he hits another rocket. Shell Surf does connect, actually, Song of the Sea. One more auto attack. Oh no, the Vanish coming into play, and Scout will be fine. In the meantime, double damage stolen by Parasite right there with the face up. Gets the kill, dodges the Minotaur nuke in the meantime, takes over the Catman champion, destroys it right away, and the chase is on. Jesse trying to get away. Great hero blocking coming up from Bubbles though. Torture running in. A beautiful chain reaction, hitting a couple of heroes. Big turnaround chance of fail, but it's going to be used. Ophelia will eventually fall. No, she's up and alive, and she eventually does get taken out. The Bubbles and Parasite still alive. Andromeda off to the side. Aurora is applied. Rocket's going to miss right there. Parasite goes down, Slex is doing a man mode right here. but Slicks will fall. But the Minotaur still doing work. Aluna still here. Z-Freak, look at the levels all of a sudden on Z-Freak. Z-Freak is on a freaking streak right here. Doesn't have a power throw for the mana just yet. The Minotaur's chasing though. One more auto attack maybe. The money shot, the marksman shot, not going to matter. Z-Freak gets the kill. Z-Freak is level 9.
Z-Freak, highest level on his team.
Wow.
He just went hard, man. I got actually Z-Freak played that excellently just in terms of how he auto-attacked, how he moved. Everything like that was great, but give credit to Slicks, man. High pressure situation with multiple heroes on him. To the last second, he was fighting as efficiently as possible, putting out as much damage as possible, and just right there, literally like 0.2 seconds before he died, he got his stun off. That provided there'd be enough damage for the Minotaur and the Aluna to get the kill, and the follow-up in general. That was all set up because of how composed Slicks was, even when he was getting just absolutely collapsed on. So, yeah, give credit to both of them right there. And QsQ.
OGs is still going up. Pandemonium with seismic slam. Andromeda gets stunned by the red. Aluna stun. However, the chain reaction is going to be missed. In the end, though, Pandemonium does fall. Andromeda also going to fall. Parasite's nearby, but just not close enough. So, wow. Nothing to note there. They also went for a kill on a scout in the middle lane, but he did a good job sidestepping the rocket barrage attempt from Stout. Oh, the courier nearly getting picked off right there. But it is going to stay alive as the vulnerability comes out. Nice Song of the Sea from Bubbles. If it wasn't for that, he would have started getting locked down by the Minotaur.
Just like that, all of QsQ's lead is... They were looking, in that fight too, they were looking absolutely dominant. If they got that torture kill just even a split second sooner, I keep going back to it, but that just, oh man, that would have changed everything.
I'll tell you what, though. 11 to 8 hero kills. We have 19 hero kills in 11.5 minutes. This is an action-packed game. Again, as this whole weekend has been, it definitely is just so awesome seeing how the patch, at the very least, is having the impact in that. And, of course, much more. As you saw Z-Freak giving a shout-out to the experience system. The new experience system, he's like, big shout-out because, yeah, I'm level 10 all of a sudden. That's a main support Aluna. The highest in the game, actually, not even on his team. That's ridiculous. 12 minutes in, though, and this is where we stand. State Green does have that slight advantage once again, but at the same time, it is slight. I mean, you still have a Pandemonium farming 320 gold per minute, and as I said earlier, Pandemonium does go the sustainer route here. So, well, actually, what do you think? Are we going to see that Rune Cleaver, or is it going to be a Nullstone, perhaps? On good old Pandemonium here as a result.
I hope we don't see Rune Cleaver. I don't really think it's
that. Well, to me, that's why when I thought about the initially, I'm like, Rune Cleaver? I didn't think though.
No, but Nullstone's the standard. He needs mana for the hero. If he goes Rune Cleaver, I'm just gonna be boggled. I'm gonna be in shock.
Rally's right here with the Invitational. Oh, he gets dusted though. He is gonna compel over the ledge, however. Gonna be fine. Very close. They were actually trying to find Scout, I believe. And lo and behold, they nearly got Rally. Actually, they still might get Rally. Leech is applied. They're not going to chase it. Or will they? In comes Bubbles. Actually, Red Aluna still, though. Big Red Aluna. Rocket will hit. Kelfield comes out. The chase still look at him. Suinamel's making the getaway with the compel. Aluna gets caught by the Kelfield stun, though. However, the Deja Vu going to be activated. And again, their level's definitely coming into play right there as a result of what she's gotten. So, helps her stay alive in the meantime.
You know, I talk about teams not capitalizing, applying the pressure when Stay Green is down.
Yeah.
And QsQ was doing just that. And a lot of times they talk about how it's the mistakes that add up and cost them the more the game is not. But this game was an example of just huge plays coming out more than anything to salvage it. And I can't write off either team yet. It is still incredibly close. Whenever I see Stay Green have even the slightest bit of momentum, though, going into the mid-game, they seem to thrive.
Lex Talionis picked up by Parasite, by the way. So, again, another case of seeing it here, this time on Parasite by Papa Male.
Yeah, you know what it can do with it, right?
What's that?
You can actually use it, and then you can transfer the Lex Talionis debuff on yourself to someone else.
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of...
You can apply it to 2 different targets.
Technically,
It doesn't actually, supposedly, it doesn't double stack onto one target unless it's a bug that it does right now. Someone told me it did, but then I read a mechanics and someone said it doesn't.
I find it hard to believe it does. But no, that's very interesting, though. It's putting on a second target. That's very...
And you don't have it on yourself, then you still keep the defensive ability.
Yep. Cool. Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles in a lot of trouble here. In comes the silence from Scout. He cannot get away. Minotaur stun connects. And Jonas Van going to be locked down. Well played right there. QsQ obviously doing their dirty work at the end and assisting onto a great opening from KZU. So well played. This is where Pandemonium, though, you definitely start to expect him to start kind of shaping up fairly nicely. I mean, now he's moving to the jungle, taking up some stacks here with that flurry. He also picks up a Mighty Blade there, so getting some life pool. Eventually a Shark Head, of course, but still sitting on the sustainer for now for the region. Actually curious what he goes first. Will it be the Nullstone or the Shrunken Head first? Is the question. Bottom tower goes down in favor of Stay Green, though, and Gonna start grouping up a little bit more, it looks like now.
Yeah, given the intensity of these fights and how it's shaping up, he might feel like now that this team is no longer snowballing, that he might actually need that hook and head sooner than later. The scout silence, though, once again, we have to keep an eye out for it. No pun intended. But that's honestly, it is going to be a huge counter towards his approach.
Double shell surf connects, but Torture not too worried about that. See a port coming in. Who is that? Pandemonium? Yeah, Pandemonium comes in, but by that time, Stay Green is already falling back. I still can't get over Z-Freak being a level 11 here, the highest level in the game. That's your main support. I don't think we've ever seen that. A main support at this point being the highest level.
I'm actually curious to see how it continues.
Yeah, how it affects things, yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, right now even he's getting some solo experience, solo farm. Hey, it might even be a case of Slick's becoming more the support route and Aluna kind of taking over as more of a farming style or something like that, but yeah, probably not. As I look at the gold per minute chart, Slick's is actually still 300 gold per minute.
Yeah, no, Aluna doesn't need much. They're still going to get priority farm to Slick's, clearly. And, well, still, it is awesome to see. He has that level 2. He can actually do a power throw self to stun Chipper. He is cutting him off here.
Oh, in the face with the rockets. Then comes Parasite as well. Leech going to be used. Nice red stun, though. The Ophelia's touch on top of that. And another. Oh, but there goes the face. Going to be fine. Seismic slam now from Rally will make them pay and at least make it a kill for a kill right there. So now, Z-Freak's serial killer streak was ended by Mally, and he got a bonus 335 gold, so that's good news. But the bottom tower is going to be pushing in the meantime from State Green. So overall, big picture, State Green definitely coming out on top there.
Yeah, I wonder if he opted to use that face hug first, if he would have been able to get the kill. It has the same range as Leech. I'm not sure if the stun was started exactly as the Leech was in the air and it would have made a difference at that point. Just something to take note of.
Yeah. Yeah, the red stun at least set up that turnaround for State Green, so that was good for them. Lex Talionis wasn't leveled up. It is level 2. He just finishes Arcana, though. So not going to level up to level 3 at least just yet. Middle tower in the meantime, though, it is going to go down for State Green. So get the bottom tower and then very quickly after get the middle tower taken out as well. So 17 minutes in now, a 6,000 gold lead here for State Green, looking even bigger and better. Pandemonium doing his darnest to, well, keep the GPM up, and it's doing a pretty good job of that. 353 gold per minute right now for Nox, playing this Pandemonium here.
Yeah, you know, that disarm on Scout, this is so powerful. Using that Vanish, even if he doesn't have a Ruined Cleaver, even if he doesn't have Life Leech, he can go through neutral camps and barely lose any health. He disarms the big creep in the camp. Yeah. Little ones that don't do that too much to him thanks to his high armor. And just like, the hero is so good. Honestly, looking at him, provides so much utility to team, and we didn't get to see him used at all until just recent times.
See Parasite and Pandemonium applying some pressure here at the bottom lane. At least it looks like they're going to go for the tower kill. Rally setting up in the middle lane, though. Torture also just buying that portal key. Here we go with Rally. He's going to compel the seismic side on a Chipper. Oh, it just got delivered the glowstone, though. So his life pool went up by quite a bit right there, and that could have been the difference maker, actually. Oh, Torture jumps in, though. Big Torture stun on top of the Agonizing Box. Gets the kill using the new portal key. Bubbles in the meantime going to go for the getaway. He goes for the Shell Surf. Compel coming forward. Take cover. Not even necessary right there, I don't think. Portstar coming to the secondary tower. But just a nice swap from Andromeda. Will save him for now, and here comes a chase down from Q Squad. But I think Rally and Torture just a little bit too out of range. However, from behind, actually, Scout doing what he does best. Oh, Palpameli actually does get the pick off on it. Torture, Scout finds Parasite, though, putting in the auto attacks, but not enough damage. And that's how the fight will end, it looks like. So more just back and forth coming out here between these two teams here. As Pandemonium is now one step closer to that shrunken head, actually. He's got the Warhammer now.
Is Keizo really 0-2-1? I feel like he's been a big part of this game.
Keizo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
0-2-1, I guess. I mean, I can't kills. I saw the kill he got at bottom lane with the Ophelia. That's the assist he's, you know, with the electric eye into the kill there. But outside of that, just disrupting the farm, I guess. He does have that electric eye in the enemy Ancients. They stole the Ancients after they got done winning one of those fights. Went down in there, and then he did place the eye. Has not been countered yet. Yeah, besides that, I feel like he's been doing a lot, but just... not on the scoreboard.
Oh, Rally want to get the kill. Not going to happen, though. Great job using that power supply there by Jonas Fan. If he didn't have those charges up, he would have most likely been dead right there, as he used it right before the final auto attack. So staying alive, and Rally, though, in the meantime, will just farm a little bit more before falling back to the rest of his team right there. But yeah, also the glowstone pickup by Chipper right before he got jumped on was also pretty clutch. And but speaking of that, glowstone pickup means most likely a Staff of the Master.
Man, you cannot tell that Slicks is playing on nearly 300 ping right
I know.
now. You can't even tell. Like, his torture stunts, he doesn't even flinch.
Yeah.
You talk about that fight where I talked about his massive plays, we turn it around. I wasn't even thinking of the fact that he is playing on gigantic delay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is significant, though, compared to what he's used to at this point.
Yeah, it's not unplayable, obviously.
Well,
to
many it might be. Too many it might be. I see people complain about 200 all the time. Slicks.
260,
How
no
freaking
problem.
impressive.
Well, you also made the point, too, where since he went to Miami and he was playing on that latency of just very, very nice every single game, he did not want to go back to Australia to play
He told
the
me
latency
himself, and
again.
he's like, I can't go back.
Yeah.
I can't go
It
back.
can't happen. Don't
He's
let
like,
it
I've become, honestly, it's like laning is so easy now.
Yeah.
He wasn't like shit-talking it. He's just like, you know, due to the fact that, like, if you're able to start your attack sooner when someone's harassing you, you're able to get more attacks in, just generally.
Yeah.
Delay does impair your laning a little bit, so.
Yeah, just simply making the point that it is a very noticeable difference. But in the end, it's still very playable, and he makes the best of it. Dust going to be a scout. Oh, he gets out just before. Ooh. The Dust spotted him, and again, especially remember now that it gives a vision around you, too, but
yeah, actually, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, scouting out TPs and people try to juke and then TP, that's almost like a thing of the past now.
Yeah. A lot more difficult now. Especially whenever you're like scouting your team, that they're getting it for that reason, too, because of the invis, so. Yeah, Scout was able to make the getaway very, very close, but gets away. There's the shrunken head finish on Pandemonium now. So, yeah, that's obviously a big pickup for them. Bubbles, 1,800 gold saved up, so he's getting closer to the Porticure, the tablet of command most likely, coming out for him. And it definitely looks like Chipper is going straight into that Staff of the Master, by the way, which actually it's a very powerful item on Chipper, I think it's safe to say.
Well, yeah, the slow also goes through shrunken head.
Yeah, Saw Blade Showdown. So he could be having that here in the near future. I mean, he really is going straight into it. The Steam Boots bottle and then Staff of the Master.
Honestly, Pandemonium is a very powerful carry, but against the team that he's at, like with a rally, not that rally can push through Mobilize anymore, but still disrupts the rest of Panda's flow. The physical silence, the Ophelia, I don't see him having the same impact he can as he might against other lineups. So as this game goes on and on, I fear more and more for QsQ. I would like to see them try to maybe make something happen sooner than later. Before it gets to a point where Stay Green's lineup is really uncontainable.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, if they find a good angle, they make a fight happen, good silence into a huge Chipper combo, they can still put the fight enough of a favor to where they can make something happen. Give it 10 minutes, though, and I feel like it wouldn't matter what they do.
Yeah. Seems like that's the case a lot against Stay Green. You need to...
Well, they're very good about building those items that give them that tanky presence, give them that team fight presence.
Ooh, Ophelia finding himself by himself right here. Barrett goes up, though. Will he be able to sustain all this damage? Lee's going to be there to support. The Saw Blade Showdown completely missing as a result. And look at Ophelia still freaking alive. Marksman shot going to be as a tripper in the meantime. Will it be enough for the kill? No, without the focus buffer was applied just before. Parasite in no man's land right here. Mally's going to get got on the Compel connects down. He goes. Andromeda the swap at the last second. What was Andromeda thinking right there? That had to be a misclick. Nova basically sacrifices himself for absolutely nothing. Bubbles in the meantime will Portakey away, but prime example right there. That was Ophelia who basically got 5-man jumped and survived.
Chipper combo. Did he get hit by Chipper combo? I don't think so.
He got hit by the rockets, not the Saw Blade.
Yeah. So not the Panda.
Oh,
but
Panda? Yeah, I don't think Panda.
Only 1,000 health, but all the damage going on to him was magical. He does have that barrier idol. Top of the Astrolabe, got the Astrolabe healing off since he wasn't perplexed, and, well, just magic resistance doing work, honestly.
Yeah. Well, so 23.5 minutes in, and look at the lead now. It is definitely grown for Stay Green quite a bit.
That goes to show you why it's good to have a mix of damage sometimes, though. I mean, that barrier idol, if they even had some sort of physical burst there to jump on him as well, that would have been a very, very easy pickoff.
True. Staying alive, though. Lightbrand just picked up by Torture, so Slicks, obviously with the new items, kind of changing up his build a little bit, perhaps. Usually on Torture, you see him go very, it goes to Gnome's Wisdom, the Tablet, the Shrunken Head eventually, but...
Yeah, Lightbrand right now sort of fulfills that role that Gnome's might, but it also transitions into a crazy late-game carry item.
So that into Grimoire going to be big for him. You see Chipper kind of scouting out with the rockets here, but he didn't scout out everything. He needs to be careful. Oh, they compelled the illusion right there. Try to catch him. Not going to do so, though. But they do deny the tower in the process. And we're able to take away that gold chance from the Hellborn team. So Pandemonium, though, just continuing to just farm away. I'm guessing Nullstone is next in line for him now. That he has a sustainer that he's been sitting on for a little bit. Obviously, it's still a great item in itself, especially for a hero like Pandemonium.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm looking at this game right now. They've established that okay, we cannot kill Ophelia even if we jump on her unless we have Pandemonium as part of the process. That's pretty much what they've shown. So they need a swap or something, right?
Yeah.
Onto him into a quick disable from the Pandemonium, try to get something done. They need to kill the Ophelia or else there's going to be too much heal and too much support for the rest of his team. But they can't kill Ophelia. What can they do at this point? They have no major AoE lockdown like... I mean, they have bubbles, but it's not like a behemoth jumping the team, you know, and turning a team fight around, or Tempest locking everyone down. So at this point, team fights are pretty easy for State Green to approach. They have some defensive eyes put up in case Panda, you know, gets his combo out. Scout's able to take care of him pretty easily that way. I mean, Torture's got the portal key rallies just super thick at this point. There's no clear target for them to jump once again. They hit that same... Honestly, it does seem like it's almost every single game.
It's that wall, yeah. Against State Green specifically, that teams just can't get over that hump. You know, when they do have I mean, many teams that face it have advantages at one point or another. It's just a matter of sustaining that and eventually pulling through without victory. And obviously, that hasn't been the case now for 35 games straight that we've been talking about. This could be the 36th game straight if Q Squad can't come back here. So, Andromeda going to dust right there, but obviously nothing to really hit, just more so using it for the vision. But Nova making a point that, I mean, he loves a new dust and just using it constantly to, if anything, get the vision. And also kind of get the gets. It's only 180 gold for 2 dust, so very cheap item for sure. Shrunken Head is being worked on here by Torture now, so he's going to follow up the Life Ram with the Shrunken Head, it looks like, and eventually go for the Grimoire.
Right, he's using it as the gnomes, and then it can transition if and when he wants to.
Yeah. Staff of the Master for Chipper is still a little bit of ways off. He needs the, well...
What's the gold comparison? The gold's pretty much exactly the same, too. It's actually 40 gold cheaper than a Gnome's Wisdom.
Oh, for the fire? Or the
yeah,
life
for the
brand?
so, yeah, I pretty much look at a 1-for-1 trade there.
True, yeah.
And the team support doesn't matter. His team still gets 3 armor. They have 2 Rings of the Teacher across the board. Gnome's Wisdom to get the buff to Mono Regen, but, I mean, come on. They have Ring of Sorcery. They don't really care. They have Power Supplies, Ring of Sorceries, bottles. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Scout just finished the Shrunken Head, too. So that's another nice key item here for the Legion team, as they're going to start grouping up and pushing. But look what Q Squad's doing. They're trying to be sneaky right here. Oh, man. Oh, man. This could be huge.
This could be a big... See, I like what Q Squad's doing, though. They know they need to capitalize, and they need to capitalize
hard. Bubbles jumps in the cup. Look at the jump. Oh, Ophelia gets bursted down. This time he cannot live. The flick going to miss right there. Great job with the portal key from Rowley. But now the chase is on. Can they catch anyone else? Rocket's going to go out. Poor tap in. And so it ends up only being the 1 kill out of Ophelia. Now the minions are probably going to get killed right here as well, so a little bit of more good news, but... Well,
Frankie, that was so close to the rally. You know, they actually added that 1 point of damage to flick, so if you grab him, once you actually go to grab him to flick him, you will disrupt portal keys. They can't do that anymore. We're just like, yep, see ya. So they were really close to grappling him there with that big bad panda. Yeah. Not quite yet. This does give him his nullstone, though. I feel like he needs something like a portal key. We saw right there what happened when Chessie gets broken down quick, the entire team scatters.
Oh, yeah.
And the one way, normally they're going to have better positioning. QsQ ran a pretty sneaky trick there that honestly teams like never seem to do when they're down. they really did run it in a very intelligent way.
Yeah.
But now that they've fallen for it once, you can't rely on that again. A portal key can allow Panda to get in position to punish that Ophelia quick enough. And he puts out an immense amount of physical damage with that maxed out flurry.
That was beautiful. I mean, Q Squad showing that they definitely have those tricks up their sleeves, and that was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, it's again... at the same time, you do got to give credit to State Green. As much of a surprise that was for them, I'm sure they did react to it very, very nicely, and ultimately pretty much got minimal loss out of that. So, well played on their part for sure as well. Kongor is still just chilling here, of course. 28+ minutes into the game, not going to be done just yet. Dragon Master going to be cleaned up between Pandemonium and Parasite. Parasite getting close to finishing the Hellflower. Again, no amplifier anymore, but still a great silencing effect.
Well, he has Lex Talionis though, so essentially he is.
Oh, true.
It's not the same, but
he's
essentially applying the increased damage amplification and the Hellflower, so it is nice. Still. They need... I honestly feel like they need Portal Key on Panda. That could be their secret to winning this game.
Yeah. Well, he has 1,100 gold saved up, so we'll know here in the near future, perhaps, of what Pandemonium may eventually go for. Of course, something like a Soul Spore into Demonic, also a pretty popular item on him. Ooh, he picks up a Mighty Blade, actually. So, I mean, that could be what? Your Ice Brand, or even a Brutalizer? I mean...
He's not going for a Brutalizer.
Brutalizer again?
The auto attacks.
Probably the Ice Brand. Or Staff of the Master. That'd be silly. Gets another Mighty Blade, though, and he hits over 2,000 life right there.
Yeah, I mean, Dawnbringer is an item now. That's a thing that people
True.
go, so
Very true.
maybe he's building up for that. I really, you know, I posed the problem before. I'm like, who do they go on? How they need to kill Ophelia, but they can't reach Ophelia because Panda can't reach him. But they found a way to sneak around that fight. He got the cannonball in on her, and just absolutely destroyed. Uh-oh.
Bubbles just gets caught out right there, and well, Swinomelons capitalizes. Z-Freak obviously assisting with the damage. Pandemonium running away. He's level 16, by the way. You see Torture blinking in right there, trying to maybe catch him, but not going to happen. But now they have Bubbles dead, so this is a chance for Stay Green to try to make something happen and capitalize here. And it looks like it is going to be a Kongor attempt as far as capitalizing. So a good chance right here for Stay Green.
And Ophelia are really good at doing that together. Dropping pretty quickly, but looks like QsQ thinks they might have a chance here. Ward is placed by Z-Freak in middle lane, so they are going to see them approach. This is not going to be a surprise.
Yeah, and it is going to be stalled for now here from Stay Green. So good job by Q Squad at least preventing the Kongor kill in the end. We'll get them hanging about nearby, and Bubbles is also now up, so he'll be able to join a fight if it takes place. It doesn't look like it is anymore though from Stay Green, so they're pretty happy with that. At least getting Kongor fairly low right there. Not the biggest deal in the world that they didn't get it. Instead, just going to fall back and farm up some more. Q Squad, what did they do is the question. They're all sitting on top of a water site right here, so Stay Green definitely very aware of where Q Squad currently is at, and in fact, they might go into the Kongor pit themselves. They are going to go in there. Oh, even the cannonball used.
Oh god,
ooh, this is an attempt
Scout's
right
not there.
here.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to pull Stay Green towards them more than anything. It creates a point of contention now where Stay Green knows they can't go far on the map. They have the scout. They want him here.
See right there, Stay Green making their way over.
Yeah, Scout. I mean, Scout and Tor both have their shrunken heads, so their initiation is pretty sound. So they don't have to worry about too much as long as they get the jump. They might be a little bit shell shocked after the Pandemonium taking out Ophelia and forcing him to scatter. They know they can't screw around in their approach. It is still a closer game than the stats might show.
Yeah, yeah, definitely is. So for now, though, Scout is just going to go around, farm things up. Bubbles is okay. He's invisible currently. I think Staff of the Master was also just finished by Chipper. So a little bit more addition there. As there you go. You have the Quick Plate and the Neophytes book. Going to be coming out. So
if I was Parasite, I might actually look if Ophelia's out of reach, or if you don't need to actually use the Hellflower to kill Ophelia, I'd be looking at trying to get. Well, I mean, she does have the Astrolabe and the Burial. That's where all the team support items come in. If she can get Ophelia with the Hellflower before she gets any of those off, go for the Ophelia. Otherwise, I'd say take out the Torture. That's where the massive amount of AoE magic damage is coming out of. So if Ophelia is out of position to reach, go for Tort. That's what they should be planning to do for this next encounter.
well, both teams pretty much a stalemate here in the middle. Kind of got some mid-wars action going on right now. With Pandemonium in the front lines here. Stay Green in the vicinity. Yeah. Nothing wrong with playing a little bit of mid-wars every now and then.
Well, a lot of teams actually just go through for a mid-wars game before every single match. It's something very common.
Yeah, we're very good. They're very easy warm-up tool.
They're back in the pit here, man, and they're not going to be able to do enough damage, so just get to the point where they're forcing Stay Green to think about it.
Yeah.
Nox is getting close to a potential portal key pickup, man. I mean,
well, he went the Mighty Blade, so something tells me he's not going
I know the Ancients are up right now, though. I want him to do it. I want him to do it.
I don't think he is. He's constantly going back and forth. Oh, Bubbles actually jumping in. They're going to go for Rally, actually. Cannonball connects. Will this be the correct target of choice? The flick going to be used right there on the uphill. In comes a face smash. It is going to be stopped, though. Rally running away. In the meantime, in the background, Parasite trying to stay alive right here. He's going to be locked on. He takes out the Skeleton King, but two players are already dead on the side of the Hellborn. They got completely cut off behind, and now Pandemonium running away. Marksman shot will connect to him. He gets done in the meantime. The silence on top of that, and Nox will fall. So Q Squad just got a little bit scattered right there. Yeah, they really forced the issue right there. Rally going balls to the wall. Swinomelon's a very risky play.
That wasn't a Torture or an Ophelia.
No, it was Rally. not
the Skeleton King provided the quick disable on the face smash. That just...
Jeez. Okay, well, he killed Rally finally, but in the meantime, the rest of the team doing Kongor. And actually gets the Kongor kill, and now Bubbles is going to go for the TP, and he will be successful. So, well, I mean, yeah, Stay Green obviously played that very nice, but it really did feel like Q Squad just simply
They dove really far on that.
Dove
All
way too
Torture was
far.
doing was like, hey, your team is scattered. You've already invested a lot in trying to kill them. Torture's like, I'm going to blink in right here, have free reign over you guys. Aluna with the power throw, finished him off. And Z-Freak, man, he's second highest level on his team still. It's been consistent throughout this game after you got that initial XP surge. 5, 1, and 10, having a phenomenal game.
Yeah. Coming up to 35 minutes in right now. 20 to 12 hero kill advantage. Obviously an 11.6 thousand gold lead. 10,000 experience lead. You see the Ice Brand pickup and the immediate disapproval from Emperor.
I just don't feel like it does anything to help them win. Like, it's not an item at that point in the game that they could have made a big play with. It's like, okay, you're going to have a little bit of extra health, a little bit of extra damage. That's not... They needed a lot more than a little bit to win those fights, as I was expressing before.
They need a jump. I mean, they do got bubbles, but any follow-up.
They do have bubbles, but they have no physical follow-up to potential jump on Ophelia, and Ophelia is the one that provides the defensive fortress for her team. And that's just, that's what it comes down to. You don't kill the Ophelia, you're not going to be killing anybody. Yeah. I said it before. I want to make a strong point of it because I think jumping on the rally was potentially one of the worst things they could have chosen to do that fight. Really, the hero with the compel, of course, too. It's not even. I don't know. It's.
Yeah, rally was a very odd decision. I mean, I think that came off even when I was catching the fight. I mean, it's just like, wait, rally? That's what they're going. Okay, cool, well, let's go with it. But yeah, they definitely forced the issue right there. Somebody made the go call, and that's the thing to keep in mind too. That as far as we know, there was a go call by whoever does make the calls.
Yeah, I'm not blaming whoever to jump it. It's whoever makes the call or whoever the team decides. It's hardly ever a person's choice. Sometimes it is like, okay, if I see Nail, I'm going to go. And they're like, okay, we got him,
Oh, here we go again. Rally jumps in first. Oh, Parasite locked down the seismic. I'm easily finishing him off. Nova's getting caught at the side. Bubbles does jump in. Pandemonium is still not here, though, with his team. He finally is able to make his way over, but by the time he's here, everyone is already dead. He will get the kill on a Torture, it looks like, but Bubbles falls as well. 4 players are dead. Torture going back up with the token of life, and that could have done it right there. The chase is still on into the base big time. The tower in the background goes down. Kelfoot to just hold them in place simply. But now the base tower is going to start falling. As far as buybacks go, nobody has buybacks that is dead. Right now it's just Pandemonium and Bubbles currently. So you see Rally jumping in right there. Jonas Fan in a lot of trouble once again. Portal Key, can't Portal Key in time. And Jonas Fan will fall. He ain't biting back either. Pandemonium just going to try to keep them a little occupied. But he actually jumps in right there. He's going balls to the wall. He wants a kill. He ain't going to get a kill, though. Concede vote comes out. GG Well players and Stay Green are going to be your Runic Shift Invitational Tournament champions. They take on QsQ 2 games to nothing here in the grand finals. And as a result, they take home $2,000 and, hey, the title of the Runic Shift champions here for the first patch.
Flawless victory, man.
So.
Flawless victory again.
Hey.
Still, if anything, I keep seeing Stay Green being put onto their back foot a little bit more and more. When they lose momentum, they're more prone to losing games, especially Stay Green. I see more so they do thrive on the ability to have that advantage where they can really press team fights in the mid-game, so their team direction might be a little bit lacking if they're not capable of doing that. I don't know. I felt like for a while QsQ was looking really strong throughout that game. There was that one moment where they were like 2 or 3K up. I'm like, okay. There was a big play that set it up in the first place. Oh, it was that mid. It was mid. Okay, first off, it started off, Rally tried to kill the Bubbles again in middle. There was already a big play where they picked off Scout twice. Rally tried to kill the Bubbles in middle.
Yeah.
They got the Kelp field off, interrupted him. Parasite came in, got the kill onto them. They were 2 to 3K. And then from there on out, there was a follow-up fight from there, which more than anything, it was in the river, where it was looking very, very good for QsQ. They kept chasing in Slicks. Right before he died, put out a ton of damage. Turned it around where Z-Freak actually got propelled to the top of the game. Some of the changes, Z-Freak shouting out the new experience system in this patch. I mean, that was absolutely enormous. And do we actually have that, that we can go back and look at that?
Well, we have we do have a clip that we want to show you guys from that game, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at that right here. So, okay, so yeah, this is the play that you're talking about, it looks like. So yeah, when Rally goes in on a Bubbles, thinking he has a free kill, which... he very likely should have even, but look at the big play from Jonas Fan. Stops the auto attack right there with the Kel field. And you do see the port coming in for Parasite and then the eventual turnaround. So no doubt, an awesome big play there from Jonas Fan. And obviously, that was, what, 7 minutes, 20 seconds into the game, it looks like. You're 4-4 here because a very even game point at that time. So obviously, still plenty of game left at that point, but... Definitely a fun play indeed, and a big play by Jonas Fan, but still, Stay Green as a team again.
QsQ looking strong though, man. I'm really proud. They've stuck together as a team through thick and thin. They keep coming back even when they're down. So shout out to Nova. I guess apparently he is the in-game captain still as far as playmaking is concerned. He's just not the drafter. So they sort of split the role. I got a little bit of an insight from a spectator while they're watching it. So,
okay, cool. All right, but again, we got a lot of answers this weekend, at least as far as what we can expect, at least right off the bat. Again, really want to stress that. Okay, so we had a lot of matches. We had 4 series in total here on Honcast. Another several amount of series over there in the Complexity stream. Obviously, all these matches were casted by either us or the Complexity Honcast from Befop Pie. A lot of Hon action came at you these last couple of days right after the patch. So, we did see a mix of we saw several heroes being tried as a result, a lot of item changes, a lot of item pickups, the strategies, the hero kill and gold and everything. That definitely is very noticeable. Entertainment value, I mean, I may say a bit biased, but I think it speaks for itself. I mean, the games that we saw, there was a lot of freaking action this weekend.
Every single game had a lot of hero kills in it, and whether that's teams is going a little bit harder at the new patch in light of it, or whether they're just trying more stuff out, or it wasn't as big of a thing. I think it actually is the changes though that contributed to. You could tell there was a lot bigger reward for ganking, for action. I mean, Z-Free,
all of a sudden 2 levels higher than everyone else
in his team.
That even happened. No, but on top of that, again, yes, so we did still see a lot of, going back to basics in the end from a team like Stay Green, or what works best, because again, in their case, why change for them if what they're still doing is winning them games?
They're adapting
at least
their gameplay. They don't necessarily adapt the picks that are still very strong heroes, do synergize very well together. They've changed up the bans, but I have no doubt we will see Stay Green adopt some of those newer picks, especially with things like Lodestone, maybe Pearl more so in the future. I mean, we haven't seen those heroes really been cheesed out yet. We'll have to see how they're taken care of. We saw the Kraken come into play, though. QsQ definitely showing that hero has a presence again. Just a lot to look forward to in general.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. And I mean, again, this is just the very, very beginning. Not only with this patch, with things kind of changing a little bit with the competitive scene in Heroes of New Earth, from the rosters of the teams to obviously more events going to start showing up more and more to us here at Honcast. Again, hopefully this week it also showed you guys of what at least a taste of what to expect to come here down the line. And again, I know he definitely had some issues still, but as I mentioned in the forum post too, we as far as Honcast goes, there's a lot of things that have changed on our side, as I've said several times. On top of that, things are just getting reset up, basically. We're just kind of getting into the groove of things. Obviously, we've already done quite a bit, again, as you can tell, but there's still so much more to come. We do understand it's not a case of,
we're listening.
We got this, okay, well, there you go, and that's going to be it. No, we're definitely listening as always, and we are going to make improvements as much as possible. So, with that said, shout out to Panman, our new producer. He's done an awesome job so far. He's over there. We don't have a camera on him yet. We'll eventually get to show you him, though. I'm sure one of these days.
You don't want to see him anyway.
That's ouch. No, anyways, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys definitely tune in for that. Now, with that said, as far as our next cast planned, the DreamHack Qualifiers is set to start next weekend. So it's on Saturday. We'll have a lot more information as far as the exacts and the specifics when that's going to be taking place throughout this week. But next weekend, the DreamHack Qualifiers are going to be taking place. We're going to be covering it throughout those next couple of weeks. That is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, can't wait for that. This week, it's going to be more about, getting things fine-tuned in our end and making sure we're getting stuff done. As far as content goes, we'll definitely do our part to try to get stuff out there. But there's going to be a lot of work behind the scenes as well, once again, this week especially. So there you go. As far as wrapping things up officially here, though, I mean, Emperor, you got any final words for those at home?
Nah, final words. As far as shoutouts go, you guys can find me at Domain of Pain over at Twitter, Facebook, Twitch TV, all the above. I like to stream regularly and keep active. And this guy over here.
Yeah, I'm at BreakCBK. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook as well, and then also the Honcast Facebook and Twitter for a lot of updates. The Honcast.com website, as well as Hontour.com, of course, for the information over there. Again, it's been a lot of fun, guys. With that said, though, the Runic Shift Invitational is over for the weekend. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. All the VODs, yesterday's VODs are already up. Today's VODs will be up later on tonight, if not tomorrow. Be sure to check out any action you may have missed. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.